Welcome back everyone to another Emacs micro lesson. Today we're going to talk about a few different ways that you can visit a file. In Emacs language, visiting a file is, like opening a file. You can open a file to edit it, but you can also open a file or visit a file just to look at it in read-only mode or just to view it without actually being able to edit it. And you might wonder why you'd want to do that, but there's a few interesting use cases where this might be helpful. So we're going to get into it here. So for the first one you might know is just visiting a file, Control X, Control F, right? And here in the mini buffer, let's go into the temp directory and create a directory called fun with files. And another slash will create a file called file1.txt. And of course, we've just made a new directory, so we can run the make directory command, or when we go to just do Control X, Control S to save it, it'll ask us if we want to create the directory, and we'll say yes, we want to do that. So now, this is file 1, so I can say this is file 1. A new file I'm editing. And that is how you just visit a file and you can open it up and you can edit it. Now let's do that again, Control X, Control F, and let's create file2.txt. Okay, so I can say this is the second file. Alright, now let's actually Control X, K to kill it. So now we've only got file 1 open here. Now let's say that file 2 is a very specific file where I've written a bunch of very specific content, and I don't want to accidentally go into that file and hit a new line or accidentally think I'm going to save it and hit Control X, but I just put an X and I don't realize, and now the file has different content in it. I just want to open it and maybe copy things from it, but I don't actually want to edit it. So what you can do is Control X, Control R, and that you'll see down here, it'll put find file read only. So this is a different function for visiting a file. And then let's select file 2. We can type it in or just select it from the list. And now, so this is file 2, and you'll see when I go to edit it, it says end of buffer is read only. So now there's nothing I can actually do with this file. But if I wanted to copy something from there and then go back into my file 1, I can take things out of it. This is helpful actually because when you're first learning Emacs, if you're like me, you're probably going to hit some keys accidentally and you're going to make mistakes. And if you just want to view a file without being able to accidentally edit it, and you want to keep it in a certain pristine condition, this is a nice way of doing that. And there is another way I'll show you as well. You can also do the same thing here in dired. But actually, let's kill file 2 just so for demonstration purposes. So when we go to open buffers, you see we don't have it. We've only got file 1 there. So, whoops, go back. Wrong place. See, I still make mistakes. So let's go back into dired, and you can get there by just doing find file on the directory. Of course, there's a few different ways to do it. But so now let's get into file 2, but instead of doing Control X, Control R, you can actually just hit the V key, and now you're viewing this file. And the nice thing is you can actually use some of the same commands that you have in info mode and some of the other view modes where you can go up and down using spacebar and backspace, and a lot of the same commands will work. And then you can jump in, you can still kind of copy things and move things around. This would be a good way, again, if you want to reference a file for data, but you're not necessarily going to be editing it. And then when you're done, you can just hit Q for quit, and you are out of that view mode. So that kind of reminds me of, if any of you recall, if you ever used Mac OS, you can click on a file and hit the space bar to view it without actually opening it. Using this V key in dired is a way of doing that in Emacs. So you can view a file and then put it away just as quickly. Well, there you go. That is a micro lesson there on viewing files in various read-only modes so that you can have fun, gather your data or your references, whatever you want. If you're a writer, this would be helpful. Like if you had a file called quotes where you just put in pithy quotes that you would sometimes reference when you're writing, this would be a great use case where you can open up your quotes file in a read-only mode, copy a quote perfectly without accidentally editing it, and then bring it back into the document you're working on. So yeah, absolutely. Staying efficient, using various read-only modes, visiting files. Lots of fun. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I'm going to leave it there. If you like these micro lessons, give the video a like. Share it with someone who you think is new to Emacs and would get some benefit from it, because, you know, who couldn't benefit from Emacs in some way? Well, anyway, I'm going to jump off of here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.